So Donald Trump seems to be doubling down on the proposition of annexing Canada into the 51st state. He's been saying this since he's been elected, probably as a negotiating tactic for the new incoming trade deal with Canada once he's inaugurated. It was good entertainment value. It was funny. He was trolling Trudeau, calling him the governor of Canada and whatnot. But at what point do we say that he's actually going to make a real attempt to do this? I'm not there yet, but there are many signs in his press conference yesterday that this could be a real attempt. Now, when asked if he were to use military force, he said he would use economic force to make Canada a state. Make of that what you will.
Mr. President, if we were to work under the assumption that you're serious about making Canada the 51st state of the United States, the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada said, under no circumstance will it ever be the 51st state.
Maybe he won't win, but maybe he will. I don't
point, you had suggested.
Listen, I don't care what he says.
But Sir Lopez, you said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force, because Canada and the United States, that would really be something.
I think my favorite part of that video was at the beginning. The reporter asks him, leader of the Conservative Party in Canada says it will not happen. And Trump's very first instinct is like, oh, he's not going to win. Is he going to win? I don't know. He might not win. It's even more funny when you look at the polls, and it's like Pierre's going to win the majority in the parliament by like 100 seats. So it's pretty entertaining to see him say that. But seriously, though, economic force, you can speculate of what that is. I think what he's referring to is somehow like applying embargoes and tariffs and other means so that Canada voluntarily joins the U.S. instead of suffering from these tariffs. Again, I don't think that's going to happen. But he's not stopping. He's not stopping with these remarks. I'm very curious to see where it goes. In addition, just take a look at his Truth Social posts. I mean, he has one, United States, and it's just contiguous United States, Canada, Alaska. No Greenland, though. We'll see about that. Another one, Oh Canada, Star Spangled Banner across Canada and the United States. So pretty entertaining stuff. Now, Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, in response to all these talks, actually went on Fox News with that Jesse Walters guy. Jesse Walters is one of these pundits on Fox News. And the whole time, he's just baiting Doug Ford into get into like an argument or a little bit of a spat with him. I'll throw some clips on here. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, what's your problem with the United States absorbing Canada?
Well, first of all, Jesse, I love the U.S. I love Americans, and I get it. President-elect Trump is a real estate tycoon. He's made billions. But that property's not for sale.
Don't think about being taken over. Think about this as a coming together.
Yeah, we can come together on a great trade deal.
Because if I were a citizen of another country and I was a neighbor of the United States, I would consider it a privilege to be taken over by the United States of America. That's what everybody else in the world wants. American citizenship. For some reason, that's repellent to you Canadians. And I find that personally offensive, Premier.
Well, you know something, Jesse? We're proud Canadians, just like there's proud Americans. And if we join together and take on the world with a great trade deal between us, I think that'd be fabulous.
This is Jesse Walters' job as a host to be entertaining. But if you look at what he's saying at face value, it's pretty annoying, like puffing his chest, being like, oh, it's offensive that you don't want to be Americans. I mean, obviously he's joking. It is. I understand it's humorous. And I commend Doug Ford for not falling for the bait and getting into an argument. He kind of stands his ground and keeps talking about favorable trade deals. But yeah, I mean, we're already talking about annexing Canada, and Trump's not even in office yet, so it's pretty entertaining. If anyone's curious, if this were to become a new country between Canada and the United States, and the slim chance that it ever happens, it will become the country with the biggest landmass in the world, surpassing Russia. And one thing I gotta say is, that team will never finish second in any hockey tournament ever again. Because you are combining the two biggest hockey countries into one. Furthermore, I believe they have the largest, or maybe the second largest oil reserves when you add Alberta. And I wonder if every Canadian would be granted citizenship I mean, would I be able to run for president of the United States? Could Canadians now run for American office if this sort of happened? I mean, I'm just fucking around. I mean, I'm not saying this is real, but it's pretty funny to speculate on what could actually happen here. In the event that Trump is serious, I do believe it is more so he wants to create a legacy. He wants to be the president who doubled the landmass of the United States, annexed the sovereign country. I mean, that is one explanation for if, assuming he is serious, for why he would want to do that, go through that. But again, I don't think it can even happen if the majority of Canadians don't want it to happen. I mean, economic force, the term he likes to use, applying tariffs, embargoes, whatever, to create the incentive for Canada to join voluntarily, you would need the populace of Canada to be down for it. And meanwhile, there are polls that have come out about this question. They actually ask Canadians, would you want to join the United States? And the vast majority of us Canadians say no. I think it's like 80-20 against joining the United States. One situation where it could happen if there's like severe political turmoil in Canada, or if Canada becomes even worse economically than it already is and socially. I mean, if things get really, really bad for Canada, I mean, who knows? That number could go up to 30, 40, 50% for those in favor. But I don't think even that will happen during Trump's term. So, yeah, this whole thing's super unlikely. But what do you guys think? What do you think? Is this going to happen in our lifetime, in a generation? What do you think?